Hey, Don here. Okay, back with another live stream. I still don't have any cameras working. I can see I've got one running just so I could. I mean, you can do this and see like a fairly. It's not full screen, but it's bigger. But it's just video feedback right now. And then hit F11 and close that tab. And this is how I zoom in and everything. I mean, you can do this is complete control interface for the IP webcam app. You go to the IP that it sets up when you turn on the Vlc stream, and that's how I generally mostly just use it to zoom in and get this camera zoomed in, and I change the brightness a little bit so that it won't wash out on the monitor. And -4 generally works in this light that I have in here right now. And of course you got to get the camera all centered. That's how I use it. I get the camera zoom and then move the camera a little bit and zoom until I get it as good as I can get it. So I'm going to, and what I think with these the reason the cameras don't work, let's see. Get off of, I need to get off of that. Let's go somewhere else. Just going to be using up too many resources. I don't have all my normal tools. What's going on here? Oh, it's not set to start recording, so it didn't start recording. But I am doing my live stream. Okay, so I'm going to start recording right now. It'll be late, but okay, my recording started late because I don't have it set to automatically start recording. I would go into the settings and change that right now. I think I did that. I turned it off yesterday because I was in the live system. Why would that? No, I guess I turned it off in this system at some point. But anyway, I'll try. I got to turn that back on. I don't want to do it now because I'm afraid it'll cause OBS to start using up all my memory, and I'll have to stop my stream. But I did it in the older version. This new version I'm running now is 21.1.12. The one I was using is 0. something. So I don't think it does because I did it several times on the ASRock. But I don't even have. Well, I have one system monitor app. It actually uses too many resources itself. But OBS, let's see. Yeah, I can look at it. Let's see. It's wow, 80%? That's an awful lot. There's the memory. It's not bad on the memory, but let's see. No, the resources aren't overwhelmed. This one must average it differently. 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Is it doing it that way or something? The one that I normally use, it just averages, how much is it using of all CPU? That says, yeah, 80 to 84%. Oh man, I didn't know they would all be different. Anyway, I haven't installed anything yet. I really want to just. I don't want to install any more than I have to, one at a time, because I have some installed scripts, and I want to build me a new one too from the group install lists for Fedora 28. Because if I use any of the older ones, I mean, some of it may or may not be available, or some of the commands could have even changed. So, but all my information and all my files are on my backup drive, which is over plugged into the ASRock, and I'm scanning it for viruses with BitDefender. I thought, well, I need to clean that up before I ever even plug it in. Make sure it's cleaned up. I've scanned it once already, but I want to do it again and make sure it's all clean, since I've been backing up to it, and I guess I'm pretty well finished backing up to it from anything that might be infected, except for the. Well, I will end up having to back up when I start building Mom's system. I'll back up the Dell laptop that she's using, the Debian system. Her Thunderbird profiles. That'll be the newest emails and everything, But right now, I'm just focusing on getting mine up and going. So all my backups are on there, and so I want to make sure they're clean. So I thought I would run OBS on it. OBS. I would run. I'm running BitDefender on it because BitDefender just can mount that. That's an NTFS drive. So It can mount that and then scan it. I won't be able to mount the LVM for the Fedora 27 that's on there, but it probably will mount the boot partition. But so it's been going since 6 or 7 this morning, and it's noon now, a little after noon. But last time I looked at it just about 10 minutes ago, and it looked like it was going to have about, I don't know how, I don't think it's very accurate. It said 6 hours and something, but it said that a couple hours ago too, so the estimated time left. But okay, so the reason I think the camera is not working in OBS, that I might have said that a minute ago, but I'll go through it, is because I don't have VLC installed, and that's what it does, is bring in a VLC stream. Can't really, I keep wanting to go over there and show it all, but I can't go in there and show it because I might as well close the browser too, I guess. Because okay, now my file is working. Oh, I see. When I was doing my tests, I did 2 tests, and then I realized I haven't even listened to my sound on my stream. It's just over there playing. Make sure I'm getting. Okay, good. So I guess I'll pause it now. Okay, so it was doing just like that. It showed a file name in 0 bytes. I thought, oh no, something's broke, and then stopped that first test, this from down here, and then looked in there again, and it had the size of the information, and had the icon for a video. So I realized oh, this there's differences in your file managers. Kaja or Sage or however you say it doesn't show you your files growing in real time like Crusader does, and I'm so used to that. I don't have Crusader yet though. I have that's the default, and then I think no, this one doesn't have Thunar, which I like. If I'm going to have to use that, Windows Explorer style file manager, I'd rather use Thunar, but it's not on here either. I think that's put on domain by default. And so here's I kind of went through these yesterday, but this is all we got right now, just some basic stuff. And so I got lots of apps to install and everything. And first thing I want to do though is preferences. Oh yeah, first I want to see. I want to go in here and set the preferences to the profile that I like. I don't like the settings that they like, and then after that I'll go and go and open up DNF, because in order to make sure I get everything I need out of VLC, I'll just go search for it in DNF, as much as I don't like using DNF. But so we'll go to preferences, and I kind of want to show how anybody that's new and actually want to watch this video, I want to show them how to do things. So I'm trying to do everything on that. See, I don't like these. I like the old-fashioned minus and box and X. It's harder to hit smaller things too. Those are smaller. So traditional oak or OK, I guess it's traditional OK. That's how it's spelled. Oak could be O-A-K really. That's the one I like, and see that's got the see now everything's that way that I like it. And backgrounds, I won't bother with that right now. If I'd have paid attention, I wouldn't even click on it. It takes a while for those backgrounds to come in, always has, and so when you click on the next one, it doesn't do anything for a while. I'm going to go up to I think 11 will probably be enough on the font size. I don't bother with changing the fonts or anything. You could if you wanted to. There is so much you could do to set up your desktop the way you want it. And I might change it again if I get to working around. You don't want them too big, because then the icons, let's see, where's the icons? I think you go here, no? Oh, I think you go here to change the icon settings. Window border. Icons. I usually do change them to something else, but I'll wait until I kind of get I don't think there's very much installed yet. I probably have to install some more. You can install more icons and everything. So I'm going to leave it like it is, like this. Now see, there's the backgrounds. The one that's on there is fine. I like it for right now. I like to set up that app that changes them automatically. Wallpapers, spelled with a Z instead of an S. Well, okay. So now we'll go to I'm going to start my replay again. It's so much more comforting knowing, well, especially when I start switching things around and doing different things. I messed up yesterday I was switching back and forth from one machine to the other, setting up one as a backup stream and the other one as the primary and going back and forth. I did it 2 or 3 times in yesterday's last video, and one time I guess I got kind of mixed up or something, and I had the audio off for a minute or two and didn't realize it. And then when I thought it was off, it was actually on because I'd already switched it to this machine, and it was on. I thought it was on the other machine. So I had myself turned around, and I've had a real good system for doing my audio and video, and so I hadn't. This is the last couple of videos, yesterday's videos especially, or last couple of days, I guess, had a lot more mistakes in my audio. Now here's DNF Dragora. Had a lot of mistakes, and I'm not used to having really any, other than maybe getting too loud or something sometimes. Mistakes in my audio. But yeah, I guess I'll let the preview play so I can glance at it. As far as there is no, you can work on the repositories. Let's see. You can add repositories and stuff. You can select and deselect them in here. It's too big to. I was thinking I'd be able to see them all. Okay, so what's in there now? I haven't changed anything other than installing RPM Fusion, and I did that via the command line when I was installing OBS Studio. That was part of the process, and they gave you the commands to do it, so that was easy, and that's already done. And that was one of the first things you want to do, because you're not going to find I was trying to install OBS Studio and couldn't find it, and then I finally realized, it's probably not in the regular Fedora repos. So there are some others, debug info and stuff. Sometimes you might need that if you were having trouble, and you're used to, when I used to report everything, almost everything I had problems with, to the bug reporter, and then a lot of times they would write back to me and ask me to do something, run a command or do something. They're the Fedora developers, the ones that taught me how to, a little bit about debug info repos, and you need to install them to do some of it. Send back some of the information they want so they can figure things out. But I haven't done that a lot in the last few years because, well, one reason I didn't have as much trouble as I used to back in Fedora 5, 6, 7 to about 14. That, and it's kind of a lot. It takes a long. You'll do it, and then it'll be a week or 2 or a month before you'll hear back, and it just kind of got to be drawn out and a lot of work. So I don't know. If something really seems to be buggy, then I think maybe I could actually help. I'll go ahead and report it. It was ABRT, automatic bug reporting tool, would report them automatically for you if you turned it on, and I had it on, and so I did it more kind of because of that. And now you have to manually do it, and usually I'm like, well, I don't have time for that right now, So then I forget about it. So I'm not reading these because I'm jabbering. Let me look through Cisco. I'm not going to turn any of these on unless I think I need them, because a lot of times when you turn them on, and you're trying to install stuff, you'll get like errors. This repo doesn't have this, or this repo that, and sometimes you'll get an error like can't talk to this repo, and it'll hang up your install or your update when you don't need anything out of that repo, but you don't know until you sift through the errors to figure it out. So I've got to I don't turn them on unless I really think I have a use for them. I used to just turn almost everything on because I thought more's better, right? I just thought more chances to get, of course, except for things like testing. I knew not to turn. I figured it. I read, don't turn on testing unless you want to test things. So I didn't turn on testing, unless sometimes once in a while the developers would say, well, turn on this testing repo so you can get the newest thing that's got the fixes in it. Okay, so anyway, that's. Repositories, refresh metadata. Sometimes you need to do that. but it does automatically refresh when you open it up. But if for some reason you think that it doesn't have the newest, say you lost your network connection, then you got it back, and things don't seem right, not working right, then refresh. You can refresh the metadata and get what's the newest stuff that's really on their server out there. And information, history, that's all there is in there. There's what I've been doing so far. Oh yeah, when I first turned it on, there was an update for FFmpeg, so I installed it. I thought, well, maybe that's what would fix that camera working, but it didn't. I didn't. Then I thought, no, wait, that won't fix it, because I know that I don't have VLC, and they work off of VLC stream, so that's your. I never really paid attention to that. That's your update stuff. It's really very different than any of the other package managers. There's no settings really that you can do of the ones that you used to, that were useful that you used to could do to me. Show updates on next startup. Well, it does that by default, so I don't know why that's there but not selected. That doesn't make sense. It always goes to update. Do not show groups in the next startup, so I don't know. I guess these are the groups up here. Yeah, no, they're over there, I think. And I like to leave it on all. Let's see. Proceed without asking confirmation interval in minutes to check for updates. Oh. Huh. Well, it doesn't ask, it just checks for updates. I don't know. I changed them up, and that one up, and I remember in another system I changed that in Fedora 27, I think it was, and it started doing weird things, so I'll leave it like it is. Yeah, that's, okay, groups or all. Okay, so that stays on all. That's the default, and it'll stay there. That's fine, I like that. To update is the way it always opens up, and this is the one thing that is really gets you every time. If you're going to start searching for apps, you have to manually go up there and change to all. Or you could say, other, I can't change it again now because it's bringing in all. But, so that's the first thing I did yesterday is start searching. Oh, there it goes. And you could go to install, to update, not installed. You could go to not installed, say if I don't want to have all the installed stuff mixed in, but I really like having it mixed in because, yeah, see the ones with the check, it's no problem to figure out which ones are installed. Now I can't find one, but the ones with the check are installed. I like that when they color-coded them. They did that in some of the other package managers. Then well, okay, that I've already got a like a newer version, especially in here, because you're not just seeing the ones applicable to your machine. This is all I need is x86 64 and no arch, no architecture. I don't need i686 in this system, but there they are. So you got to make sure you don't select them. And there's no option like in all the other package managers to not even show those. So you really have to pay attention here. Plus you have to, the way they laid it out, you can't even drag this over and make it smaller. And you notice it's empty. There's nothing in there for me to see. I don't need any of it. What I need is to be able to see all of that. And if you move them over, you can do that. But then next time you close it and open it, it goes right back to being like that. So you better just learn to use it the way it is. So, and I'm trying not to grow up a lot, but but you need to learn. I mean, it took me, several months of going. I mean, I don't stay on the newer machines all the time. I stay on my Fedora 23. Well, I'm going to be on this. This is the machine that was Fedora 23. So, you got to learn all this junk to keep working, to be able to work at all. And I've been jumping back and forth between all these different machines, so it really gets aggravating because each one works differently because of the software. But let's see, and the default for searching by names, and then there's the descriptions, summaries, and file names. Now in Extender DNF, this is just DNF Dragora, so you could have it do them all at once. And then you'd find what you're looking for 10 times faster. But now you have to search 1, 2, 3, 4 different times with the same terms to try to find something. So, I'm going to see if YUM extender DNF is in there. And if you hit enter, it does nothing, which is crazy. You have to click, and that drives me nuts. Okay, nothing. I've tried this before and I've never found it, so I don't think it's in there. And it's kind of hard to tell sometimes if it's done searching. If it's not, I don't think it'll let you switch this over here. Well, that's okay. That's rolling right now, so I guess maybe that's if you pay attention to that. And I was thinking that wasn't working. The little rolling, the activity monitor thing in the mouse. Let me look at I guess I'll go ahead and pause that again. That's just going to keep working that laptop. Okay, so it's still working. Well, I shouldn't even have searched in names. I guess I don't know why it takes so much longer to search in names, but it does. But of course, that's not going to be the name of the. If you're searching in names, you need to know the exact name. I shouldn't even click on that one. In file names, I mean. If you're searching in names, let's just try DNF, just DNF. I think there's DNF package manager. Forked YUM using so-and-so, so-and-so. Forked from YUM, yeah. I guess this is the back end, the GUI portion of it. DNF automatic. Alternative CLI to upgrade. Well, I won't bother with that right now. DNF config, spacewalk. This is the nice thing about Linux package managers is, if you can just know either know like part of the name, especially when the searchers that work good, but if you know part of the name or you know what you want. Like the other day I was showing you search for, like flight game, and I found some stuff, but you don't have to know anything. You don't have to go out on the internet and go find freeware and shareware sites like in Windows, and you don't have to know much at all about the software, what's available. You can just start searching like word processor. And like I said, it's really, really hard in this DNF Dragora. But if you keep on trying, you will find stuff. But just don't think it's not there just because you didn't find it in one section or in one type of search. You're going to keep changing your search type. I don't know what Spacewalk is. That's a specific type of Spacewalk server for software updates. I don't really know what it is. Okay, manager, subscription manager. Oh, for Red Hat. Well, we don't have a Red Hat unless you pay for that. That's the granddaddy, the maker of Fedora is Red Hat. Okay, plugins core. See, there's quite a bit in there. Utils. What's the utils? CLI, debug info, install, reprograph, package, cleanup. Using DNF. Sounds like something I might want. There is something. Let me see if I blog that thing, because that would be an awful good start. I don't want to. I don't want to get into a super long. That's the last thing I blogged on my blog. I'm going to have to use my blog to find some things though today, because I don't have my files to go straight to them. I like camper vans and stuff, and I've been watching videos and reading them. I have an '83 Dodge Good Times van that's pretty well a camper, already, but it doesn't have stoves and all that stuff. It's more of a travel van, right, the way it is. But my uncle gave it to me, and he used to camp in it. It depends on what all you think you need with you, Audio editing, codecs. Okay, I think those. I haven't been blogging near as much as I used to, so there's not So a lot of times I find interest. I used to put everything I found interesting in here, but now it takes a little bit too much time. It's quicker to just start making a video, a live video, and just let it be on YouTube. But it's not quicker to find it again. But okay, so I don't think I have what I was thinking. The article I found on the Fedora, I guess I could just go. It might still be there. I didn't think about that. I found it just the other day on the Fedora magazine, and that's what the homepage is right now. I haven't changed it, so Fedora 29 and content improvements. I don't know. I don't really not normally read this all the time, so I don't really know my way around the Fedora, this page. Whatever. I thought it was a magazine, but that's not the magazine. That's Start Fedora. Yeah, it's going to be way too much looking. All right, so DNF Yum. There's a Yum CLI compatibility layer. Okay. Daemon. Let's just see what's already in here first. Okay, now that was kind of the end. This one thing though, Yum Util CLI compatibility. That's a CLI, so you're going to be doing that in the command line. The command line interface is what CLI stands for, but some of them are like little wizards. Some of them are just, you got to learn the commands and type them. So usually, when you'd see CLI, you'd usually have either maybe not a wizard, but like select number 1, select number 5, whatever. It would tell you what to do instead of just here's the CLI. Now you start typing commands. There seems to be a lot of helpful tools there, but I don't want to get off on a sidetrack. What I was really looking for is if I could install Yum Extender. That's going down. DNF, then yeah, it's not in there. Let's just try Yum now. I didn't think I was gonna hit enter again. Okay, DNF Yum, yeah. Okay, you can install Yum, but I don't want the whole Yum package manager. Oh, so you can still do that. Yum Cron. That's where you can set up cron jobs are like automatic jobs that run in the background. And plug-in aliases. Yeah, I wouldn't want to have Yum and DNF competing to manage the packages. That would just probably cause all kinds of errors and stuff. I'm not sure what would happen, so I'm not going to do that on a brand new system. And I haven't, like on my Fedora 23, I didn't install all this stuff, and it's fine. All I needed was the Yum Extender. I have Yum Extender and Yum Extender DNF, and that's all I needed to be able to. But see, I don't see it. Yeah, and there's the other. See, normally your all your search results will still be there, and you can just click on them instead of having to do it again. Try DNF again. Automatic. Yeah, to upgrade. It's an alternative CLI to DNF upgrade. So actually, you would probably, if you're going to do an upgrade, you'd probably want to. I don't know. You'd have to look into it and see if you really. It tells you. I remember because I've read about it, like gone to their page or whatever. Well, it's kind of weird because the other package managers tell you a whole lot more info than just that little one sentence thing. They have like a whole description. I already have DNF utils, yum util CLI compatibility layer. Debug info. Yeah, it's got more. It's kind of more technical stuff. Probably not stuff I would really get a lot of use out of. Okay. I think pretty much what I need as far as just Yum. I mean, used to you really did want to go in and install a bunch of Yum plugins to make a lot of things work easier and better, like fastest mirror, find the fastest mirror automatically. A lot of things like that. Kickstart. I kind of skipped over those. Micro DNF. System upgrade DNF. See, there's another one. So you'd have to learn. Really, you'd probably want to go to the Fedora manual pages, and find out what they recommend. I think they'll tell you all the different ways that you can do an upgrade. I have not been sitting here coughing like this all day, so as soon as I get on the video, it starts up. I'm draining so bad that I can't even talk. All of a sudden, just out of the blue. I'm gonna take a little pill because I think if I don't, it's just gonna get worse and worse. I think my body has a sensor in it that knows when I'm making a video, and it starts torturing me. So stop it. All right. See, found outdated running applications in your system. Every transaction. Version lock. Okay, I don't see anything that'll help me. There is another one that it doesn't work like it used to, but it did have a lot better searcher. What is the name of it? I'll just search for package manager, but it's probably not going to be in names. Descriptions, summaries. You know, maybe what summaries doesn't do good because there really isn't a summary. I think description right there is the only thing, unless that's the summary. Let's try it. Only way I'll know is, okay. DNF. Pac-Man, well, that's not the one. That's one of them. For the Arch distribution. So you could install it and use it, but I think I tried it once and it wasn't much good. There's RPM package management system that's already on there, and that's how I guess it's basically how you can install from RPMs. I remember I used to know a little more about that, but I can't remember right now. Zypher Aptitude. Aptitude is the Debian package manager system. That's a whole nother one. So you can install stuff that may not really work well on your Fedora system. So there's a lot of things you can do, but you might not be wanting to do it. Let's try summaries and see what happens. It didn't change whatsoever. And names, let's see what happens. You get nothing. So let's go back to descriptions. Yum extender, try that again. Nothing. Apper. That's what it's called, Apper. Probably it might not be in the description. Yeah, there we go. Boy, it sure did find a lot of stuff. I don't see APR though. Since so much came up, let's see what it is. Oh, it's not in alphabetical order. Why not? Now is it going to be? No. It skips around. Oh, it's uppercase and then lowercase. That's ridiculous. Still don't see APR. See why I don't like doing this? You can spend hours doing this when you could have spent those same hours building your script and then running that script. So probably what I should have started off doing. I just thought, well, I want to get my cameras working, and I thought, well, before I'll even be able to find, I mean, I know I could find VLC. I guess I should do that first. Find VLC and install it, see if the cameras work, and then I just didn't want to have to deal. I thought if I can head off dealing with, I don't know, there's just tons of stuff that don't seem at all related to APR. There it is right there. I went by names. Oh, it's the KDE interface for package kit. I may install it and see what it looks like. I don't think it'll hurt anything. I've done it before, so I'm going to install APR because if it, yeah, I knew it would. Since it's a KDE app, then it's going to have to install a bunch of KDE stuff, but that's fine. Why don't I go ahead and just Crusader, do Crusader, make sure I get the right one. What? They look like the same thing. x86-64. 1FC28, what's the difference? Why is there two of them? One's 3.8 megabyte, oh, 2.7, okay, that's the newest one. See why I grab about that. Okay, now VLC. Yeah. Vlc Media Player, now there's a bunch of them. Let's just click on the top one. Seems like the newest one is on the bottom. You still got to make sure it's, yeah, okay, that is Xig. There's a i686 in there. So I want VLC. Let's see if, now most of what's needed will be installed automatically. I'm not gonna try to select any of those extras or anything. Well, let me see. Yeah, I am gonna do that. Make sure I get those extras because I think that's extra. Plugins, and maybe some codecs. That's what I'm looking for, is codecs to make my. I don't need that Python stuff. Okay, now let's hit apply. We got something wrong. Oh, both VLC extras requires. Okay, so you can't do that. Do I have it set up to do? Yeah, I got my screenshots set up yesterday, so we can do the extras. I think we'll be all right after we. Now we should be all right. APR, VLC, Crusader, and then all the dependencies. Yeah. I've already forgot to. Got the new root password. Yeah, that way I'll have my file manager that I can't live without. And I'll have VLC, which I really count. That's my only player I really like. And it should make my cameras work. Hopefully I won't have to reboot anything or do anything. Do you want to import the key? Yes, I do. I do screenshots when it's anything I think I might need to remember it. That way I can have thousands of screenshots, and so and in a matter of a year, and never find anything again. Sometimes if it's really important, I get in there, or if it's recent, I find it easy. Like I use it in my videos. But if it's recent and I need it for something, then it helps. If it's I wish that somehow they could automatically, I'm banging into the mic, automatically give it a descriptive name instead of just screenshot so-and-so date, workspace. And if it could like give you even the name of the app it was in, would make a lot of difference, But I never have. Let's see. I think the one that, well, actually, I'm not using Shutter. I don't have that installed. I'm using the default, probably called Genome Screenshots. You got to watch Genome Screenshots. Let's see if it's doing it right now. That's another thing. I need that system monitor that I like, but I don't see it. It was for several distros. Hopefully they straightened that out. It would open up another process for every screenshot, and if you did 20 of them, you'd have 20 genome screenshot process. And before you know it, your system is slowing down, and not like on my dual-core laptop, it'd slow down to a halt, and I didn't know what was going on until I figured it out. And you can't make it stop. You can't kill them. The only way to get them out of there is to reboot the machine. You don't care how you root privileges, nothing. You can't kill those processes. I mean, what are they there for? You take a screenshot, save a screenshot, and then there's nothing left to do. Why does it keep running? So, but then the other thing, you see me always, in my videos, I'm always taking screenshots with Shutter and then making sure I close them. Well, when you close the previews, close the app. I close the app for good measure, but if you just close those previews, because they'll be using up memory, each and every one of them, in a good little amount, and they'll add up real quick. But you can close those, even though it's a pain. You can close them and stop that. But you can't you couldn't before. I need to get my my screenshot tool. I don't remember. I found the name of it the other day, and I guess I took some screenshots of it, and I think I might have wrote it down somewhere. But I got hundreds of sticky notes everywhere. That's another way. My screenshots and my sticky notes. I used to always just do sticky notes, but they get buried in stacks of sticky notes. But if you get really desperate to find something, you can keep looking, and you can usually find it. I mean, if it's not too old. If it's a few years old, I mean, I got a box behind my monitor with old sticky notes in there that I haven't been into in a couple of years, and I've got some in the closet, on top of the closet. If I could make a book of sticky notes, if I could get somebody to make me a book of my sticky notes, then I'd have manuals galore and to-do. I need a to-do manual or to-do list, a book of to-do lists. That'd be kind of weird if you could make a book of that and look like all the last 20 years of to-dos that you never got done. Might be a depressing read. Seeing them once in a while makes me think, that stuff wasn't near as important as I thought. Okay, so I should have VLC. Let's just leave this running until I don't have my 6. Guess I can do it. Okay, so let's see. Preferences on the panel. I have 4. Make it 6. And that's all I need to do for that. Now see, I'll have be able to put everything in the places I'm used to putting them in. Normally I would have my system monitor on 6 and usually something like this on 5. Web browser right there. And I usually have Thunderbird right there, but I don't run it when I'm doing videos, so I put OBS there. So, and Crusader goes right there. I should have it. Where is it? There it is. That other file manager, I can take that out of there now. Don't need it. Oh, now I got a blank space, but we'll fill it up in a little bit maybe. Welcome to Crusader. Now you gotta, it searches for all of the add-ons and stuff. And what is this? Email. It's all Thunderbird. Okay. And then all the packet zip file managers. If you want to use some of these others, you got to go find them in the package manager and install them. Most of the time I don't need them, so well I do use it is enabled zips, but the ones that say disabled. RAR is one that some people use a lot. I don't, but I always go through here and set everything up the way I like it. Okay. Let's see if I can make that bigger so I don't have to keep on paging. Try to go through it fast. Let's see. I used to always have to change the size of the fonts to get where I could read it, but if you, well, I used to have to go around and around because it would go by the, well, if you have KDE, I guess the deal is if you have KDE desktop, the full desktop installed, then it wants to go by its theme, and you got to get in, reboot your system in a KDE desktop and set a theme that will make it look right. But I guess that's the thing, because I haven't been installing KDE desktop. Just the apps needed to run their apps. They automatically let it install the dependencies, and so it follows the theme of my Mate desktop automatically. So that's good. And I haven't been having that trouble with the fonts in the last couple of years, so much anyway. But you can change them there if you can't see things. Now this right here. I'm going to leave all that like it is for now, but some of that I may want to change. But I like the equal button. I don't use the up button. I like the home button and the root button. Root of all directories, not the root, folder, root user directory. And Crusader mode, so you could do Conqueror mode, Crusader mode, Total Commander. What started out, when I started out with it was called Windows Commander, and then Windows sued them and made them change their name. But Total Commander is where I learned to fall in love with twin panel file managers, and so you could make it work like Total Commander. I don't know about that one, I don't know what it is, but anyway, I learned it, and I didn't really realize that at first, and I learned how to use it in Crusader mode, so that's the way I like it. And if anything acts funky in what you're not used to in here, because sometimes the newer versions change things by default, and I want it back like it was, because that's the way I've been using it for all these years, since 2005, so I'm an old dog, don't need to learn no new tricks. Anyway, talking I can't think straight, so I'm not going to try to change a bunch of stuff now. But other than what I'm not going to read every bit of it. I'm having trouble concentrating. Those are the automatic extensions. I forgot what that means. I thought that was the zip files, the compressed files that it could handle, but that wasn't what. Automatic file systems, I want that on. That way when I want to go to my backup drive, if it's not mounted, it'll mount it, or whatever drive it might be. For instance, when I had my Windows 7 Pro partition, it didn't mount automatically, but if you clicked on it, it would, pop up and say, okay, we need root password, and then mount it for you. So you don't have to go manually do it and go open up another program to do it, or do it in the terminal or whatever. Confirmations, yeah, I'll leave them all on. Archives, the current pages has been changed. Do you want to apply? Yes, apply changes. It tells you even before you close it, which is actually good. Packers, that's what they call it. These are the ones that are, that's what I was thinking I saw a minute ago. These are the ones that are in there, and if you want the others, you need to install them, and then if it still doesn't see them, you'll have to go use that to show where they're at. Usually they show up once you, I think you can do like you tell it to scan for them again or something. Checksums that it will you manage, use, work with, whatever. And there's some more settings in the font sizes and all that. Okay, that should be it. And then, oh, no text editor plugin available. I need to install Kate. That is, oddly enough, Kate is, when you see the app, it's going to say KDE Write or something, K-Write. Kate is the actual name of the application. So if you say, well, I'm going to go ahead and install that, because it really is convenient. You can't hit view or edit on a file without it. And so, for instance, if I want Kate, then I could just go ahead and install it right now. There's only one listing, it looks like. Yep. Okay. There's Kate plugins, though, which you probably do want. What's that? K-part 1712, 1712, what's the difference? 1712.2, 1712.2. Oh, x86. Okay, so you got to go way over there. What is this? K-part. Oh, partitions? Oh, that's a partition manager. Well, I'm not. That's not the one I like. I like Gparted is already on there. Oh, search. I meant to hit do it. Okay. I want those basic things to be functional right now. So I'm just going to do it as I run into them. So, since I don't have a script builder or anything, and since I'm kind of trying to show and tell, then some of these things, you know, that's good little things that can really hang you up, and they're really, a lot of them are simple if you just show them to people. So show them to myself. A lot of times if I go back and look at things to remind me how to do stuff. Okay, we're on home. Let's see. There's not any. Well, there's videos now. Now I can look and see that my video is being made. See, you can see it growing. See the file size growing right there. I've got some documents already. 425 info. Okay. So, and if I knew the name of that system monitor, I would put it on there right now. And I closed that without even thinking. But so now I've got Crusader, and there's Kate right there. This could be the wrong one, not the one about Kate. Kate. Oh. Okay, so it's not Kwrite. Kwrite's another app, but that's the one it uses by default. Maybe I go in there and change the. I like Kwrite. I guess I've been going in there changing it, telling it to use Kwrite, but anyway, I did it, and there it is. So I was wrong. Well, there we go. I'm glad I showed that. I was wrong about. I don't think I have Kwrite on here either. Yeah, but Kwrite will. I will probably end it. Well, if I don't get all this stuff that I like out of my group install scripts, and I'll probably do those first and see what I get, and then if I'm still missing stuff, I'll just make that script out of that list from my last, my Fedora 23 system, and just go ahead and just put it all on there. And if I'll have some things that I really don't want that maybe don't even work right or something, or I don't use them. I tried them and didn't care for them that much or whatever. There's a couple things, like there's one called Baloo that I don't even remember what it would do, but I installed it to try it out. It didn't work right, and I tried to uninstall it. Maybe it was gonna. One thing is, you don't want to just install everything willy-nilly, because you'll get things you don't want or that are kind of broke. And I mean, they'll just sit there and won't cause any harm, but then you'll forget and you'll click on them and it's aggravating. But when you go to uninstall them, they may share dependencies with other applications, and that uninstaller will say, well, I don't think. Well, usually it'll show you, the good ones will, the good package managers will show you, these are the other applications that share these dependencies. And you look there and you go, wait a minute, that's going to break some of my favorite apps, if you uninstall all that stuff. And it doesn't give you another option. It's either yes or no. Do you want to? It says it's going. Used to, I swear, there was a way back in Yum to say, no, I don't want to uninstall all those things. Leave them in there. But now, in the last few years, I never see that. Maybe I just can't find it. I'm sure you could do it in the command line, but it's just gonna. If you uninstall that app and in the GUI, like in Yum Extender, DNF or whatever, not even in this one that I'm griping about, Dragora. It just gives you the one option: uninstall this and all these dependencies, and it's usually it'll say we think there's nothing else, but we're not sure. But you want to try? You want to do it? You know? And it's like, well, I don't want to break everything else, not knowing. You know? And like I said, and then I'd have to do it in order to get back into it. But anyway, when you uninstall, you better really watch out, because you may be breaking some of your really good apps by taking out the dependencies to that app. There's one that you don't even want. Anyway, back. What was it I was trying to do? VLC. Okay, sound and video. VLC. Now it'll take that spot. That's a good spot for it. Okay. And let's just open up VLC one time. I don't really use that anymore because it always brings in the wrong, even on my own personal albums that I recorded, my songs, when I play them, it will bring up some album cover to something I never heard of, and my album covers are out there on the internet. Sometimes it kind of seems random. Sometimes it'll find them, sometimes it won't. So I don't like seeing. I used to think it was accurate, and I would say, "Oh, that's the album cover for that," you know. And then I finally realized, well, that's not even close. And when I saw that my own were wrong, you know, I was like, "Oh, that's not even close." So I just turned it off. So now I can finally. Let's see. Well, if you want to, I don't know. I was going to say I was going to look in here for you know, kind of like you would in Windows, like file associations. I'm not even going to fool with any of the settings in here. There are some that I like to set, like normalize. I will do that. I'll tell you that right now. Usually 10 or 11. I'll say 11 is pretty good, and that'll make things play. I like not to have things. I didn't mean to close that. I like to not have things. You know, this will actually bring the lows up and the highs down. It's a pretty good normalizer. So I like to use it. But sometimes, like say, if you recorded something and you're trying to see did it record well, you need that turned off. You know, like if you're trying to figure out. Well, for instance, if I'm listening to my videos that I just got through making, I just realized. If I'm listening to I'm going to turn it off, because if I listen to my videos that I just got through making, it's going to normalize them with it set like that, and I won't realize. And one of the things this is the main thing I do nowadays, more than watching. I don't watch videos, download them, and watch them in VLC a lot. Mostly I just watch them online, you know, wherever they're at. But what I do use VLC for all the time is to do my audio video checks before I start my stream. So if I have that turned on, that's going to make me think my audio is more normalized than it is, and I'll have trouble using that to check my audio. So I better leave that alone in this particular instance. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to, I don't know. There's a lot of little things I like to do, but that's one that if you're using it for a video player, audio video player, you might like that, to turn that normalizing on. If I'm watching you can. It used to you could pipe almost any video straight to VLC and use that. I just get the URL and pop it in there. But now they use these obfuscated URLs, you know, and they go to 100 different places on the way to where the file really is, and so you can't do that so easily anymore. Sometimes you can go to YouTube and just get the URL out of the window and put it in there, and it'll play. Sometimes it won't. But and you used to could set your settings in Firefox to tell it to play every video through VLC. I did that for a while. It's kind of cool because of the, you know, normalizing and stuff like that. But it's also can be, you're always having to wait for that program to open up, and then and it's kind of weird because it's like a pop-up in your face. You know, it jumps, that thing opens up, or else it opens up and starts playing and it doesn't raise up, and then you got to go, where is it? Oh, it's over there. And so I guess it depends on how you want to do things. So for instance, I'm going to close the Dragora now. So if I open this up, how I would normally do, and the video I test I did right before. Let's make sure. I guess everything's files not well. The bigger they get, the slower they grow for some reason, and it looks like it's your file's not it's broken, and it's not. But I can listen to my sound and make sure. Well, I'd have to go to the interface. Let's go to the interface and see that nothing has stopped. Yeah, see, it's all recording and everything. So if I really want to make sure that everything's okay, I'll turn on the audio over there. Yeah, I just saw the scene change. So I don't know. At the beginning, you can really see it changing. I guess because it's now there you go. The default that came with Fedora is this Parole Media Player, which I think I used to just uninstall it, but I found out at one time I was some kind of video I was trying to watch, and it was the only thing that would play it. But if you hit that install, I guess I should have tried it this time. I tried it already, and it wouldn't do anything. It just sat there. So let's hit install and see what it does. It just doesn't do anything. I think it's trying to hang up. Okay, there we go. Anyway, you can right click. Well, actually, in here, that's what you need to do. That's not working anymore. I don't know why. You'd click right here. I don't know why they've done that. File type options. You can't click on that and tell, put Crusader. There'd be a list of apps that could play the files, and you'd put Crusader at the top of the list. But what you do want to do is go over here to, I guess it's in Preferences. Preferences, Personal Preferred Applications. Firefox, that's the way I want that. Multimedia. I don't have my image viewer yet, so I'll have to leave it there. Oh, VLC's already set. So if I opened it up with this package file manager, it would do it. So I have to change Crusader. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to leave that alone. No. Oh, there's VLC. So I definitely want music played by VLC. Text editor, I'll leave those as they are until I get. Sometimes Crusader shows up. Maybe after a reboot, Crusader will show up, and I can put it in there because I had been able to change it and leave those by default. I don't have a lot of apps yet, so most of it's already there. But I don't know what's going on with this. Used to could just say right click properties and just click right there. See, it won't allow you. I guess I could try. I don't know why you'd have to do that. Let's try it and see. Start Crusader in root mode. Normally I put a bunch of buttons up here for that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, be careful. If you can you could delete all your system files or anything in there, So I'm going to say don't ask again because I've been using it for years. Cannot start root mode because KDSU is not installed. I had a feeling I should just leave that DNF Dragora open. Apper, there it is. Let's see what Apper looks like. This is probably a new version that I won't like. Oh, what do we got? Installed software updates. Well, this is weird. Find by description by file name. Let's put it on. There's only two. Just do description. Filters only installed. No filter development. No filter. These are some of the ones I'm used to. Yeah, some of the things I'm used to. Only source code, only non-source code. Graphical. Yeah, you could switch between only graphical. That was really helpful. Only graphical. It says text, but what it means is, CLI, command line interface apps. So, and if you just want graphical apps, that's really, really helpful. I'm going to leave it alone now because, I'm not. That's not really what I'm doing. Settings, help. Let's see what's in the settings. See, check for upgrades, check for updates. It's actually already set to check for updates manually. I don't think it can install them because the Dragora is set to do that. But you could let it do it. But if I don't have trouble with the drag, I think the updates works fine as far as I remember. show the application launcher after installing a new application. That's really cool. You can start it right up from there. This was the standard package manager for Fedora for all these years, and still they decided right before they got away from Yum, they got away from this, and they decided it could be slow sometimes, but it's still it looks funny from what it yields. That's the software origins or repositories. Yeah, software origins. You don't know why they use that name instead of. I think they changed that. I don't think it used to say. But see, there's updates installed. It looks as though it's not working right. There may not be. There should be some icons and stuff in here. Pictures, graphics. I think maybe it's. There may be some. That's usually very unusual, but there may be some dependencies missing that, for the rest of the app. You should be able to. Yeah, you can search by hitting enter, but I'm not finding anything. Let's try Vlc just to see if it's working. Maybe it's not going to work. Well, it's still searching. Maybe I didn't wait long enough. So well, wait a minute. It doesn't allow you to cancel, so it must be done. May not be working. I don't think it's working. I thought something looked funny about it. Install software. Well, you don't want that. Oh, check for updates. I guess, yeah, I clicked on that too, so I would want all is what I would want. It probably would have, let's see what happens there. No. I don't want to just go by a certain group. I want to just search everything. So that would really I don't think the whole back end is installed here. Well, I think. See, there's no icon up there. So I'm going to say that's not really working. I might want to uninstall it. Let's try uninstalling it. I heard the doorbell ring. I don't know. Normally we don't have anybody coming around. We come in here, so it's probably someone trying to sell something. And well, it could be. What happened? I may have just caused myself some trouble in the system. I think it may be locked. There it goes. I thought it was going to be locked up. Oh, it was still searching for update. I tried to work. Oh, it's in all though. It stayed where I left it. How about that? It actually stayed where I left it. You think it'll start doing that? Okay, there's ASRock. Let's see what happens if I try to. Okay, click on it again and it deselects it, and then click apply. Now, package kit ASRock. This is what I was talking about. RPM Fusion, it's going to uninstall all of that stuff. All RPM Fusion, free and non-free. I know I don't want to uninstall those. So I'm stuck with ASRock now. Unless I can find a surgical way to get it out of there. And the older package manager, well, ASRock used to give you more options. Like, say, keep all these. I know Synaptic did, and I think ASRock did too, but say keep all of these just to uninstall this app, There may be a plugin, hit cancel, make sure I don't do that. Maybe a plugin, I'm going to quit it, that you could put in DNF, I don't know. That's the thing, is DNF is still relatively new, 2 or 3 years old as far as being used. I mean, I don't know when they very first started writing it. But it doesn't have all the years of development that Yum does, and it doesn't have all the plugins and all that stuff. I suppose I could we'll see. I might go I might set it up with all the old Yum stuff and let it. Yum will go through DNF. It can't just go on its own. Well, it could if you installed the whole Yum. I don't know what would happen if I installed like the Yum package and all that stuff. I saw it in there. I just wanted to close that to make sure. But now I've got Apper, and it won't even run. There may be more things to go with Apper that I didn't see. What was it? I had something in my clipboard that I wanted to try to install, and now I don't even know what it was. Something that, what was it, Crusader that told me, or Vlc? I think I lost whatever was in my clipboard. Oh no, I didn't. KDESU, yeah. There it is, KDESU. Which one is the one I need? That one, 5.12.15. Of course, if you did install the older one, as long as it's the right architecture. And that's the thing that's got me confused. Used to, it didn't really matter. You could install 686 or 64, and then the next update would automatically upgrade it to the 64-bit. But in the last couple of years, like when you're trying to install, if you just boot up on Live ISO and it's if it's not a x86 64, it won't boot on a 64-bit system. If it says i386 or anything like that, or even i686, it won't boot. And the other way around was always true. 32-bit system couldn't boot 64-bit, but used to 64-bit systems could run 32 and 64-bit programs. So I don't know why. Yeah, it gets a little orange thing when it's going to be installed. What's the rest of this? Framework, development. Yeah, you're not going to need any of that. So let's install that. Just a few things. And of course, this is a crazy slow way to do this. But this is how you can learn, and this is how I learned. 1 by 1, 10 by 10, whatever. Like I said, the other day I'd start trying to install 30 things at once, and sometimes it'd work, and sometimes you would get conflicts, or maybe you'd get an app that doesn't work right, like Apper, and then you try to uninstall it, and you're stuck, because if you uninstall it, you're going to install all this stuff that you may not know what it is. You don't know if it's needed, and for sure I know that why would it take out, uninstall an Apper, why would it take out my RPM Fusion repos? That's weird. So there are some really odd things that happen. I swear it seems more odd things happen now than they used to in earlier versions. So all part of the learning fun, I guess. But I get more, I've been using it for so many years now, I get more cranky and more, I just want it to work like it used to, you know. Or like I think it used to, like I remembered it. So I actually forgot that. I think it just came up when I opened up Crusader. I forgot what I installed. KDE. Oh, I don't want to keep too many things running, so I'll close it. I was trying to. Now I remember. I was trying to start Crusader root mode. Now it works. There we go. So that I could see if that's what I would need to do. Now I got to run through all that stuff again. I'm going to go ahead and close the regular mode so I won't have two of them running. And got to go through all the settings again. Let's see. Yeah, these are my buttons that I want to change. Yeah. You can either hit apply, or if you go to change to the next spot, it will ask you. And there may be a few I'm going to end up skipping, but hopefully I'll hit the ones that are the most important to me here. Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't notice that. Test archives after packing. That's really helpful, because a lot of times you pack an archive and then it didn't work right, and you don't know it till you open it. Enabling write support. You can write to archives, zip files you already have, or gzips or whatever, tar gzs, but it's kind of, see, it's telling you a warning. I'm not going to read it out, but I've tried it and it's kind of hit and miss, so I don't do that anymore. Okay. There we go. Oh, and then there it is. It has a red. My Fedora, one of my systems didn't show the little, I think it was a Fedora 27, didn't show the little red icon up there, and I never could tell which one I was in. Now let's see if I can do, let's try one of these down here. Nope. I don't understand why they've turned that off. That was one of the things I love most, that I used a lot. You click on that, and you could just set the whatever program that Crusader, not the system, just Crusader would use to open up stuff. Now, maybe it's somewhere in settings now or something. In here. I don't know where it would be. I don't know. Well, I'm not going to go keep doing it right now. But, okay, I did install VLC. Okay, so I had VLC open, and I was trying to use it to, I like to open things from Crusader. I don't like opening it from here, but you can. So open file, videos, that was what got me on this long sidetrack. Okay, that one's being made right now, I think. Why is somebody ringing the doorbell again? 1.5 gigabyte. I'm starting to wonder if that stopped recording. But let's open that one. It should be working just fine. Let's see, I don't think I have sound. Yeah, I don't have my music files on my system yet, so it's not going to have anything. Hey, you don't hear? Okay, getting ready for a new stream. That doesn't use a lot of resources, but the stream does. Drive 2. That would be music. Okay, so that's working fine. So the whole point in installing it was to, no, of course that doesn't necessarily mean that didn't fix my problem with my cameras, because I may need to close OBS and open it back up for it to recognize it again. Sometimes you just click back and forth and it'll start working. So I'll try that a little bit. If you already have OBS running, and well, if there's something, well, say you don't have your camera started up, you forgot to start it up, and you have OBS running and you start the camera, sometimes it'll pick it up, sometimes it won't. So that's why I'm thinking, because otherwise I really don't know. And when I do that, you don't see nothing but black, so I need to remember that. But let's see, let's make sure we can go back to the browser and make sure that camera is still working. I just turned on that one because I thought, well, there's no point in jamming up my Wi-Fi network with a bunch of cameras and audio and stuff if it's not gonna work. I thought that was not gonna work for a minute. Yeah, it's still working just fine. So what can I do here? Oh, I know one thing I could do. Let's try it. Okay, so if I do that, and switch to my other machine, okay, now yeah, oh no, it's not working. Oh yeah, it is. It's just behind. I was checking in on my BitDefender scan on the on my backup, my Seagate backup drive on the ASRock. It's the most powerful machine I got, so I thought that'd be the one to use. 8 core with 8 gig of RAM, and I don't see it running. I've been having trouble with it not running well. With using OBS, it keep maybe I just never, I've been leaving it on camera too and just letting it sit there, waiting for me to use it as the backup stream, and maybe I just really never do that and didn't realize that you can only. I do remember that you can't. The longer you run the cameras, the more it works the machine, whatever machine you're on. So it's still the same, 51 files, but you won't get to see them. You can't look at them until it's done scanning. It does say, oh, elapsed time. Yeah, the estimated time still says 6:56, which it said 6 something before. So I don't think that's even close to right. So really anybody's guess. And you would be able to tell where you're at if you could make this bigger, but you can't. It won't resize or anything. I wish it would. But it's working away. It may be, I hope it's, the last time I did that drive, I did it on my Dell 6000 laptop, and it took 2 days and 2 nights or something, whatever, long time. But it did do it. But was it? Yeah, it was. I think it was on the Dell 6000, or was it on the? Maybe I did something else on that, because I don't remember leaving it running on that. I guess I had it plugged into my Lenovo i5 and did it like that for a long time. But so I was hoping the ASRock's enough more powerful that it would do it in one day. You know, like in, well, it's already past 6 hours, I think. So yeah. Well, it's getting close. Elapsed time, if that's accurate, which it probably is, 5 hours and 5 minutes. So if it'll do it in, I don't know. I'm going to guess it's going to take 12 hours. If it'll do it by the time I go to bed, that'd be nice. Well, if it doesn't do it by the time I go to bed, that thing may keep me up because it's right next to my bed. It's loud. Well, it's not real loud, but I can definitely hear it good. Oh, I don't hear it. I can hear it right now, sitting over here with it in the rack down under there. But it's not loud, but over there it would be loud. And so anyway, but I don't want to, if run it's 5 hours, and by the time I go to bed it'll be 10 or 12 hours it's been running, or more. By that time, if it's still running, I really won't want to cut it off and start over. So we'll see. And see, if I wasn't doing it this way, I couldn't, it'd be tied up on my main machine and I couldn't be doing anything else. So that was the best thing I could see to do. I just realized that's filling up the whole screen on my preview over there. In my web browser, it didn't look like the full screen. So that's filling up the whole screen. Well, that's cool that it's doing that, but Speaking of using up the system resources, I better quit doing that full screen in there. Doing that is, I'll close the browser too. But yeah, I can see it. It's on the left side of the screen, and it doesn't take up but about 3/4 of the screen, even when you do F11 and make it the browser full screen. But in the video, when I switched over to just showing, when I switched my KVM switch over to the other machine, then all of a sudden it was full screen. That's weird. I don't know how that works. But that does work. So I can use the camera in a very different way than what I'm used to. I'm used to just clicking, just going in here and clicking on camera, But I did learn right away that running those cameras in the web browser will cripple this machine in about 10 minutes, or about 3 minutes or so. So I can't do that. And you can run that stream in VLC, and that same problem. You really started noticing it real quick. I'll show it just because it's interesting. Now I've already forgot. Okay, so the stream, this would be the way to do it. Okay, I'll open the web browser back up, and I can just copy that. Go to that page and copy it in my browser, into my clipboard. So I'll copy that, and I won't open it up this time. And open up VLC and say open up stream. And paste that in there. That should make it play right there. I might have to change. Oh, yeah, okay. It tells you the instructions. If I want video, I need to put /video. And I also know, it doesn't say it right there, if I wanted audio, I could put /audio. I don't have audio turned on in that thing. So how cool is that? See, you could go around and around and around trying to figure that out. So all I need to do is, now, there we go. Now I can see, of course I'm getting feedback because the camera is pointing at the monitor, but if it was pointed at me, then it would just be a normal camera feed. And I could do full screen, and I think it should just show up full screen on the video over there to you, you know. It's wild looking, isn't it? But I can't do that for very long. And if I had the audio turned on the camera, then it would be picking up audio from the mic on the camera. Well, normally I use one camera just for audio, you know, and another camera. Of course, that wouldn't work now. You'd have to have two separate streams playing, you know. And I don't know, I guess if I opened up VLC twice, and you know, if you're going to want to hear audio, you could do it from the web browser. But the reason I thought about doing it with the VLC player is because I thought it might be easier to run my stream, because I wouldn't have to keep remembering to switch between desktop and camera and forgetting, you know, I do forget sometimes. But yeah, see, I could, if I do turn it on, it'll be a real bad echo of turning it on myself, but I could go right there, audio, and turn on audio, and I'd hear myself kind of in a delay. I don't remember which one works the best, but one of those works. And some of them work, some of them don't on my system. But because I don't even have Flash installed, it won't work. I think Java script works, but not Java and stuff like that. I guess I could. Flash doesn't work for the video. Browser works. Java doesn't work. JavaScript works. Full screen works. Browser's the best one, I think, for me. Flash doesn't work for the audio. HTML5 wave works. Let's see, yeah, it's turned on. I don't hear it, but I guess if I turned it up louder or something, I guess it would be coming out of this machine, wouldn't it? I don't think it's working. That might work. Do you have to hit play? No. I mean, it's not going to be very loud because, and it says why the lag. So it lags when it does work. I could end up getting horrible feedback. Be ready. I don't hear it. Oh, maybe you can't do it that way. Maybe I have it turned off in the setup. Maybe you can't just turn it on unless it's turned on in there too. Might be the case. You can do two-way audio too. You can talk to people. This is a really cool app. It's IP Webcam. It's an Android app. But I hope I didn't mess things up messing with that. Well, I turned it back to the way it was. But I turned that on once and it did make really bad feedback, so I'm not going to do that. I don't know. Maybe I have to turn I have it set in the program on the phone to turn the audio off, just video. So maybe that has to be on before I can. Yeah, because I guess this doesn't control that part. It just controls what I get in the browser here. Yeah. So if it's not being served up, it can't turn it on. But it can turn a lot of other things on and off, like in the video. You can have sensor motion detection, so you can use it for surveillance, for security cam or whatever. You can have it take pictures every so often and stuff, and I can click a button on here and have it take a screenshot. It'll be on the phone, you know, like take a photo, take a focus photo, save photo to storage, save focus photo to storage. I guess you could do that here or something. Tasker events control. I won't go into every bit of it. And then you can tell it to record a video to the phone right there. You can just start and stop it right there. I don't use that because it'd fill up the phones for you. Well, you can have it record for an hour and then override it if you want to use it like for surveillance or whatever, security. Of course, the thing is an hour. Well, I think you can change it to more. Yeah, you can change it to more, like up to. No, hours the most. Well, that's not enough. I mean, you'd need 12 hours minimum, you know. So, like, if you were using it for that, like while you're gone and when you come home, kind of thing, you know, you'd want to be able to. But really, you need a week. So it's not really, you know, good for security cam, and that particular part right there is not. But you can just have it streaming to whatever. Like I use OBS Studio, you can have it streaming and then pick it up with whatever you want, and then record however much or little you want to do without some other app, you know, like I do. But I've worked all day before I started making videos, so I'm kind of tired, winding down, and my brain's winding down whether I like it or not. Well, that video that I'm making hasn't showed up yet. Just want to know, should I save the password for that? No. That stays in there. Okay. And it says one watching. Well, that's probably me since I got on it with another machine. But if not, hello, one watching. I never have quite figured out how all that does everything, whether or not that's registers or not. Okay, so yeah, I've lost complete track of what I was really trying to do. Got a few things. Oops, that's not what I meant to click on. Got a few things, basic things installed, but okay, it is okay. Now it says 1.7 gigabyte. I started wondering if my backup was working anymore. Commands DNF install. Okay, yeah, the commands to install OBS Studio. Update. First run. Okay, that's all I have on here. So no, I don't have any kind of scripts or anything. Yeah, the one thing that I'll go ahead and kind of look at that for a second. The one thing that see if I can get back to my blog. I have there's two searches on here. The one at the top, it doesn't work well at all, or it didn't used to. I haven't tried it in a long time. I put my Google custom search on there. You can set up a Google custom search on somewhere on the Google site. I got a few of them set up, but anyway, it works better, but not as nicely as regular Google search does. Oh yeah, some of this stuff I'll do that later, I guess, getting things all set up the way I want them. But I was going to see if I could find. Now I've forgotten what it was. I'll check my stream first. Yeah. Okay. I'll make sure everything's good there. Guess I should really pause that again for a while. Work that machine to death. Group. I can't ever remember if group has an E on the end or not. Group install script. I don't remember if I ever made a post about that. I should have. Or maybe I should have did. I figured if I left the E off. Group install commands. Okay, so maybe I'll click there. I didn't think that. It's one of my links in there. There we go. Okay. So yeah, see, I guess that's one of the reasons why it doesn't seem like it works really well, because I put a lot of links in my posts, and they're there. They're just not the title of the group installation. Here it is. The hidden DNF groups. This is exactly the article I think that I want. So Yeah, I guess you got to be a little more inquisitive than to just look at the first. Oh, it's an email I sent to myself, but I'm already logged in, so it went straight to it. Oh, isn't that weird? That's a link to an email in Gmail, and it worked. Now, if you weren't me and you weren't logged in, it would give you some sort of can't go there thing. But let's go there. I think this is going to be the very one that I wanted. I'm going to put that. I haven't started doing anything, so how can I get to the Fedora? Oh, there we go. Put it in Fedora project for now. I'll move all those. Really, I'm going to move those folders down to regular bookmarks because there's too many up there, you know. The ones I want to use are my YouTube stuff and my cams and stuff, mostly. Okay. Okay, you might be looking to install GNOME desktop environment, Fedora. See, this is older, Fedora 22. Say you install a spin, and you might check available package groups. Okay, so through DNF. Oh, 22 had DNF. Okay, so go ahead and open this up like this. And go ahead and get SU. So that I can run these commands. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of go through it and do it as I do it instead of, okay, I don't need the sudo because I went ahead and did SU. Oh, Control V is how, you know, is how I always paste that way, but you can't do that in the terminal. Now, there's a terminal that you can, and you can turn it on in some of them, but if you do, then it kind of fights with another keyboard shortcut, so I quit trying that. Sure would like it if I had I found a terminal. There's a lot of them to choose from. I found one that I think would do it by default, but then I forgot which one it was. I think I didn't like some of the other features. Okay, so this command is DNF group list. It's listing the groups that you could install, and available environment groups, custom operating system, minimal, so and so. Of course, we already have installed, so but we might want Mate Desktop. Well, we have Mate Desktop. We might want XFCE, for instance. I probably would want XFCE. Office, LibreOffice. Oh, these are installed groups that I do have installed. I have those. Available groups, 3D printing, you know, just on and on and on. And you can go through there. And what I do is I run these commands, save this, and then I build me a script from it. Install script. I have to have one of my scripts to copy and paste the commands at the top that make it into a script that will do anything, an SH script. And I don't have that right now, but that's okay. I can at least get started here. I'm sure I could find them somewhere, but they're not in here. That's not what this is actually about. It's just teaching you about groups. But this article, even though it's kind of old now, I'm sure there's probably a newer one, you know, or newer versions, but this is a really fantastic article here. I've used it for years now. I just go just to get these commands, you know, because you can go on the Fedora website and it'll be hard to find. So available groups, or has been for me, but unfortunately you won't find an obvious group for your needs, and yet sudo DNF group info genome. Okay, let's see. Last made it out expired so and so so so. Description. I'm trying to make sure I find the next. Know what I'm doing here. Description. Okay, I think this is. I'm just going to run this command right here, because there are groups that are hidden until you know the right command. Is what the whole point here of this article is. Okay, I think you just that's an example. Okay, let's see what it has. Oh. This is telling you, this is his example. Yeah, see, this doesn't work right. Okay. And then says DNF group info genome. Okay. Racing check, so-and-so, so-and-so. Group genome does not exist. Okay. Okay. Genome was highly intuitive, so on and so on. Mandatory packages, kind of mixed up. There could, there could be some of this that may not work in Fedora 28 that did in Fedora 22. This is actually one of the reasons why I was going to do this, to make sure. I actually thought I was the one. Oh, I had thought I might try to make sure and find a newer version of these instructions. Okay, this is all these, oh, okay, unfortunately you won't find, okay, these are the groups that you should be able to see, I think he's saying, but you can't see them. Why doesn't genome groups show up in our listing? Okay. Now, what must be what must be an attempt to better the user experience? It seems Fedora's repositories, a few totally awesome hidden groups. I don't know, I can't read that sentence right, but there's some hidden groups. So you run. Now we're getting to where I was expecting to go. Okay, he's explaining it, and that's great, because I would have never understood all this if I hadn't actually read that the first time. I'm trying to rehash it quickly. Okay, so if you run this command, and if you run it, you're going to get the updated information. That's why I'm not just trying to look through his original. The commands still work. As long as they still work, we're good, even though we're way newer than Fedora 22. Okay, I just had to find the last command I ran. I went too far up. I think it was somewhere right after that. Okay, right in there. Yeah, DNF group info genome. Well, that doesn't work. I would like to have skipped that, but that's okay. Yeah, DNF group list v hidden. All of the loaded plugins. These I already have these. Looks like I have all of these too. Bar cache DNF. Not found. Not found. Okay. Missing file. Last made it out of expiration check. Missing file. Okay, you have to pour over this to really get to know it. But and then available environment groups. This is the ones that help you to helps me to build my script to install things. Some of them are going to be the same as what was above, and but there's a little more. I think there's a few more desktops in the list here. Web server, I don't think that was in there. If you could turn this distro into a web server by just installing that group. If you didn't want to start with the, I think it's really my Fedora 23 server. I started with the Fedora server install ISO, and then I found the commands to install XFCE desktop. I think I put mate on there and then decided it couldn't run it well. It wasn't powerful enough, so I put XFCE on there. I think that's what I'm running. Anyway, install groups again, and conda so and so. Available groups. So these are some you can install, and I think some of them are duplicates of what was above, but it's got I think all of them and the hidden ones as well. But like they said, a lot of them are stuff. That's what I was looking for. The other ones you would have been going, where are you? Where are these things I know should be there? Of course, if you didn't know it, then this is a real quick way to find out what's available. See how much quicker that. I mean, these are groups. These aren't individual apps, but as you saw looking through, well, especially DNF Dragora is a nightmare to search in anymore. So the command line turns out to be a lot easier if you just get this article and use their commands and their instructions. So you can go through here, and you could just copy and paste just certain ones into like another terminal window and install them. Just say DNF install. Now these parentheses after it would hang it up. You'd have to put when I make my script, I put a number sign in front of whatever you want to comment. They call it commenting it out. Actually what I do is, first thing I do is I get into LibreOffice, and I'll have to relearn it again, but I figured out how to put a comment out, put a number sign in front of every line on my page. Save it as a text file, don't save it as an ODF document, or it won't work right later. And then once you're all done, and then you can take the comments out of the ones, just manually delete the ones you want to install. But you definitely don't want to install every group, and it gets really tedious trying to copy and paste what you want out of here into another file. You can do it any way you want to, but I don't have any of those to show you right now. And I think I've actually made some videos on how to do that before. I think I did. So anyway, this right here is just, you know, what came up when he did that. That's why I'm showing it in my terminal. And plus, I want to do this. I've been planning on doing this. So I want to do it in your own system and find out what's specific to your system, what you already have and what's available, and whatever version of Fedora you're running, it'll tell you what you have and what's available. So there's language groups. I didn't pay attention. That was language groups. Okay, so that was the end of that. Now, it explains to Lucy. Explain it to me, Lucy. That's a Desi Arnaz and Lucy joke. Am you too young to have ever heard of I Love Lucy? Surely you've seen it on old reruns. Okay. The V option causes output. Okay, I'm not going to read that. You can read it and maybe you'll understand. I would if I wasn't trying to talk. I'm not good at reading. I'm not good at reading aloud. I'm not good at reading and then explaining stuff. My brain just goes every which way. Especially if I'm getting tired, like I said I was about a while ago. Okay. But he explains what he thinks about it and how he thinks it should work, or whatever. Anyway, you can read that. Okay, now, and it appears that hidden is a super secret group sec which defiles all. It's funny if you read this. Specifying groups. I don't think I need to do that. Let's see. Okay, I think he's showing here an example of how to install DNF group info. Oh, group info product environment. Okay. Oh. I'm just trying to see if I want to run that command there. I don't think I need to run that one, do I? Oh, this is a group info on workstation product environment. If you wanted detailed info on it, okay, so it would tell you, it tells you what you get in that group. So if you wanted to know if I install this group, what am I going to install? That's when you'd want to do that. So I could change that to something else, but I'll do it like that for now. So if I paste that in there, hit enter, it'll get the same basic thing, you know, what he just had. Okay, so let's say far back. I'm going to go to the, well, let's stay in the hidden environment. What I'm thinking of is, what will I get if I install available groups? Okay, now what if I install, I was looking for LibreOffice. There it is. I don't think you want to copy that. That's kind of like a description there. LibreOffice development. Okay. So if I copy that, wait, how am I going to do? Yeah, okay. If I copy that, now the good thing in the command line is you can go with up, or see that I went up 1 on my keyboard, up and down. You go up 1, you go up 2, it goes back to the command. Okay, yeah. Down doesn't do anything. Up on the arrow keys on the keyboard, that brings the last command I typed. The next up, one before that, one before that. It really can be helpful. So now I'm just going to, backspace and delete that, and I'm going to paste in the one I just copied, LibreOffice development. Now let's see if we get just what we expect here. Yes, we did. So if we, it tells you a little bit like LibreOffice Productivity Suite, mandatory packages, calc, draw, email merge, so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. Group development does not exist. Development. Okay, so I put the, okay, if you leave a space in there, see, I made a mistake. I left a space, and I did it just like it was in there. All I really needed was LibreOffice, because development, they took it as another package name, and they're saying, oh, that one doesn't exist. So a space, you could put more than one group in there and search for it. Now let's go back over to the original one. Available environmental groups. So what if I installed XFCE? Now I don't know. I might need to put, we'll try it. Copy. I may need to, knowing that space is probably going to foul things up, I might put it in italics, I think it is. We'll see. Okay, let's go back up and do that. Or parentheses, I'm not sure, but I'm going to do it just like this, just to see what happens. See if it happens again. Now, when I pasted it, did it. Warning group desktop does not exist. So it worked. I just got that warning. So really, you could have just put XFCE in there. But lightweight desktop environment. So now I can know exactly what it is I'm going to get if I install it. And so that's really, really useful. This may end up being too much extra junk for me to build. Well, I can still build a script out of it. It might take a lot of reading and finding out what I can. Well, like I said, I can just comment everything out and then only comment back in the things I want. But for instance, somewhere in here there ought to be XFCE app finder. If I wanted to pick it out of that group and install it, then I would know the exact name. If I see it in here, it should be in here. It comes with it. It may just be app finder. They're not really in alphabetical order, are they? I know app finder, so really I could just find it. And I don't see it, but I know it would get installed in there because every time I've installed XFCE, you get app finder. Tunar file manager, you would get that. You get some things you might not expect, DNF Dragora updater, we've already got that. Now, if it's already on your system, it will just, when you run the script, it will just say already installed, and it'll update it if it's not updated. If it's already updated, it'll say already installed and already up to date. So you don't have to worry about duplicating things that are already on your system. There it is, XFCE app finder. I just couldn't see it. So see, now you know that it has to be XFCE app finder if you wanted to just install that. Or like I said, if I were to set the, comment all these out with then I could just, if I could, for me, I'm not good at that, but if you are, you could go down there and say, oh, I want that one, and just uncomment it, and it'll install it. And you can leave it just like it's formatted right here. There's two ways you can build an install script. You can either write it on one line and put a space in between each app or group, like if you say, if it is a group, you can put things in parentheses, not parentheses, italics. The two lines, the two lines on the beginning and the end of a phrase, italics. I forget everything. So that's what you would get with that. I don't guess I already have LibreOffice, so I wouldn't need that anyway. But What are the other groups? These are some groups that you might, audio production. I know I want that. So I'd have to show you my script. You don't just leave audio production as it is there. You have to have it say, when you're making an install script, I forget the exact syntax that you put in there, but you put group right after it, and you may have to put it in italics, like audio production in italics. I can't remember. This is not for installing here. This is just a list of what is there and what's available. I'm talking about turning this output into an install script. So normally when I talk about this, I have the scripts right there to open up and show you what I'm talking about. But see, now this one that I'm doing right now, I'm going to save it, and I'm going to use it to build me a brand new Fedora 28 install script, because the ones I did in 23 and 26 and 27, started one in 27 for Mom's system, they may not be exactly right to that system, so that's why I'm going to do it this way. So I'm just kind of reading this right here. You can see my mouse jumping around. So this is one of the absolute best helpful articles. I mean, I never knew this for many years. I just discovered this 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe 2 years ago. This article, and all laid out in such a nice, easy to understand fashion. I'm going to save this page again, because I don't. This is a new system with nothing. And since they changed to DNF, things were. Some things are quite different too. Like I already knew how to install. There were different. The commands changed a little bit from Yum day. From using Yum to install. Like I used to use the group install. The only thing I knew about group installs was installing desktops like KDE or XFCE or whatever. And the DNF, the commands are a little different. Since some of the older commands, well, it's kind of weird because some of them will work, some of them won't, and it's kind of hard to figure out. But before I go any further here, I'm saving this. I don't know how many. Let's see. Yeah, this one is not. This is not the one. I thought this was the one you could say save output as. I thought Mate Terminal was the one. There's one terminal I finally discovered that you can say, you'll go to File, Save Output As, and you don't have to select all. This is okay, but if you get too much in there, your clipboard won't hold it. But I think I'm fine. So I'm going to open up LibreOffice. I still call it Open Office sometimes because that's what I originally had, and learned. And I didn't really see. I used them both once they came out with it, and I didn't see a lot of difference from the user perspective. But then once Fedora started, giving you Libre, then that's how I really switched. That's too small for me. I need to just change my default fonts. But I can just change it right here. The font is fine. I like the way that looks, so I'll just change the size of it. Boy, you got to go a little pretty big. There we go. I used to always use 12 as my font size in Times New Roman, but that looks like Times New Roman to me. So, all right. I'm just going to name it DNF Group List. It's good enough. I was trying to paste in there because it was blued out, but it didn't do it. There we go. No, leave it. Let's leave DNF as the. I think I'll find it better if I do it that way. I'm prone to want to use capitals and everything, but In this case, I don't want it some, you know, like some small and some big. So I'm going to make it a text file. I was going to put the date in there, but I don't think that's going to be real relevant. DNF group list commands, terminal output, Fedora 28. That'll do. And it'll ask me, do I want ODF or text? I want text. Now, if I could remember how to put the comment in front of those, I could do it right now. I'm sitting here in it, but what you do, the basics. I may have to go back and find I may have a blog post on it, maybe not. I may have to go find it in my video myself. Because I made a video not too long ago, within the last 6 months. Let's see. You use find and replace. And you got to go down in here to the extra options. And I believe you're going to want to use regular expressions, replace backwards. Or is there something? I remember it was hard for me to figure out. I think I had to do special characters or something. I don't remember the way I did it. Format. Indent before text. Alignment, text flow. Before text. Now if you put a number sign in there, will it do that? Oh, you know what? You don't do it in here. Better get in there and take that out. What did it do? Oh, now it put, oh, that it wouldn't accept that. Or I don't think me putting a number sign caused that to happen, but okay, I don't want that. Now what if you did want to do, well, that's a whole nother thing, but with those apps lists and you want to get rid of, and if you do want to get rid of all returns, then you can use like the number sign and stuff in here and keep it on regular expressions. Directic sensitive, that was already there. Okay, so it's not that I did it with. I did it with some formatting. And I think I did it from over there, I guess. That might not have been it. List styles? Numbering. Might have been that. Numbering. Well, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3 numbering. Okay, there's that. But that's not what we want. So, okay, I guess you're going to have to say select all. Edit. Select all. There we go. Now then. So if we, yeah, now see it does numbers on all of them. Okay, now we're kind of getting somewhere. The dot. Okay. That puts a dot in front of everything. What I want is, okay, that gives it an ABC. You have to do a custom or something. I'm getting on the right track. Okay, those are Roman numerals. I can't read them, but there they are. There's just a line. Checkbox. I was going to say, if one of those puts a number sign in front of it, we're in like Flynn. That's an X. Okay. Surely you could add your own. New. There we go. New or modify. I'm going to say. I'm going to see if it'll let me do that. Okay. Okay, there it is. Now let's see if it works. Nope. It's numbers. But I may be getting there. Modify. Name number sign. Custom styles. Bullets. Numbering. Outline. Image. Position. Customize. Don't see a number sign in there, do I? Oh. Nope. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. I don't think that's what I want anyway. Let's see. Organizer. Edit style. Okay, it says edit style. Let's see if we can do it right there. No, not that one. That one. Was it in bullets? No. Numbers. Don't want an image. Position. It's not as important. Bullet. Ah. Let's see. Graphics. Bullet. Linked graphics. I'm going to try it. 1, 2, 3. Start at. Oh, okay. There we go. Now we don't need the number. No. Oh, okay. There. Look at there. Okay, well, I've got a number sign, and that's all. Start at 1. Let's see if that'll do it. Ah! Commented every one of them out. Yoo-hoo! Okay, so, in case I mess up, every single one of them's commented out. Awesome. Okay, now in case I mess up somehow, I'm going to save as. Let's see. Save as with number sign. Oh, commented out. All. Comment it all out. .txt, because that's what's going to make sense to me. Well, I could say number sign. I'll do that because I might forget next time I see it. Okay, now you could you got to watch out when if you're editing in here, because it can have formatting. As long as you save it as a text file, it should be all right. But I generally go ahead and do when I'm really turning it into a script, I do it in I like KWrite. I don't have that installed yet, but with KWrite, you will know exactly what it's going to look like as a script, or any of those other goods. Some of the other ones, like the one that's on here, I'm not sure. duplicate to have now. I added that. I'm not sure. Some of them have a really small limit of characters that it can have in a file, or how many on a line, which in this case that's not going to matter so much. Puma, that's the one that's the default that came with it. But so you want to make sure you use one that can do the work you need to do. So that's fine right there as far as it is. Now let's see, for instance, I want to install XFCE desktop. There's a problem with that. There was something I had to do to allow me to delete those. Oh, you know what? I kept fighting it in here and it wouldn't let me. I think that's exactly, whoops. Yeah, it wouldn't let me delete them because it's like the formatting of the page, right? Oh, and there's not one there, so you may have to go and see the script would read that CDT and look for it. So you may have to go in there and manually add that. It didn't put it because it's part of that line, right? It's just on the return. So I'm going to close that and go ahead and do just like I was saying. I'm going to leave that open for a little bit longer. I was trying to check my stream, so I'm going to close it. Okay. And so now I'm going to, well, I was going to open up Crusader, but I might as well just open up whichever program I think I'm going to use. I've already forgot where they are now. Let's try Pluma. I do remember that it's fairly good. So we're going to open. Those are recent. Okay, that's the one I want with the number sign. Now, I know I'm going to want XFCE desktop. Yeah, now see it'll let me, and just delete those spaces. Now it's going to read it. And of course you got to put right up here at the top, you're going to put your script, you know, and I don't know it by heart. I'll have to get it out of one of my script files. But you'll put it up there at the top. Then it turns this whole thing into a script. And so whatever you uncomment, it will do it. Now you can't just leave it like that. There's a particular way to turn that into an install command, and I'll have to go find that. So I think I'll undo my changes right now. You might want to, and here's something I like to do. You can find, let's see, case, no, so-and-so, so-and-so, yeah. Wrap and parse escape sequences. I don't know. This is not the one I use all the time. So, for instance, where all is XFCE? It's right there where I was at. And then it's down there. See, now down there, that one is just going to do the same thing. But you would have to go and do a separate comment out in front of that where the parentheses are. You can do that. You can have more than one comment out, like you could have it. I'll close it and show you. You could do what I was going to do there. And I did this. I know I remember it worked. Do that and then put you a comment out right there. And that it'll make the script ignore the rest of that line. So, but you do have, like I said, we got to go find, either if I do it right now or if I just get one of my scripts. It's so easy to just get it out of one of my scripts. But I do have some on my old system I could turn it on, but getting to where I'm going to have to quit anyway. I think I'm getting to where I'm dying to have a break here, so I may just quit here real soon. So if you know you want to install something, then you can, if you're just like, okay, well, this is something I want. Where is it in this long, long list? You can look for it. Critical path. And you'll have to pay attention. Well, it wouldn't really matter, what section it was in. Of course, if it's in the installed section, then there's no point in installing it anymore. And see, since I went and ran some extra commands at the bottom of this, like what's in Mate Desktop, I think we might be in that area now. Or maybe not. You're going to have a lot of extra stuff. So if you pay attention to that article and only run the ones that's going to just list, it's fine if it lists installed. That'll tell you when you're building your script, well, don't do that again. List installed and list available. That's all you really need. You don't need, like when I ran those commands, to tell me what is in XFCE desktop, what is in LibreOffice. Those are just going to reduplicate a whole bunch of apps, you know. And LibreOffice is already on this system. So see, like that right there, I'm not quite sure what brought that in, but it's not really that. You just have to read down through your document and see that you've made here. Like right where I'm at now, with the blue is DNF group info XFCE desktop. Well, now the rest of this is going to be what is actually in XFCE desktop. You don't need to uncomment out all of these. Just up at the top up there, tell it uncomment XFCE desktop and put the whatever, I think, in after. You're going to be putting in group install. I just don't remember the format. I think you put group install in front of it is what you do. And anyway, it has to be exactly right with the right, you know, not the right amount of spaces or lack thereof. Like sometimes you put a dash, and like XFCE desktop may need to be in quotation marks, you know, around it. So the yellow is showing you all of them, and then the blue shows you the next one. So that's kind of interesting, kind of cool. This is kind of good. I think this might actually be, this searcher may be more helpful than the one in KWrite. So now we're back up there at the top, but let's move this somewhere else. Probably can. Oh yeah, here's. Okay, so let's say, where's my blog again? Let's see, what would be quicker? Probably, let me try my blog. It might be quicker to find what I want. History. Just go back to that post on this and look for group install. There's something right there. DNF Y install, group install, production. Oh, my scripts. I can find my scripts on here, I bet. Audio production. That really looks like exactly what I'm looking for. Let's just go to that. Oh, that's a Google search. Not really what I want then. And that's all group install one word, so I'll just leave it like that. I was going to write out group installation info, Fedora 23 apps. That might be what I want. Oh, that's another one of my emails. I had no idea I had done that so much. Oh, it's the same one I just came from. Okay, Fedora 25. Hidden groups, that's the same guy, Engineering Walden. Okay. I've saved it in more than one place, haven't I? There we go. Group install commands. Let's see what we can find there. Oh, I used to do it that way. On the Fedora pages, you can, like, if you want to turn your installation, like I have just, you know, Fedora 28 mate desktop. You want to turn it into Fedora Jam Spin, and you can use these commands right here. Well, I don't know if they're outdated now, but yeah, see, sudo yum group install, yeah, with the quotation marks. That is probably the older, so I want to find one that is a DNF command. That may work, but it may not. Put it in there. Probably wish I hadn't, but that'd be one way you would do it. You would say, oh yeah, DNF. I think what you'd be able to do is go DNF, group install, and then just put your XFCE desktop in quotation marks. That's all you would have to do. You don't want to put sudo in front of it because your script, in order to run your script, you're going to either use sudo or I use su. Just log, you know, put su, put in root password, and then run your script. And I always do run my script in the command line. You could right-click and run that script, but you won't see the output and you won't know what's going on with it. You won't know when it's finished. You won't know what errors there might be. So I wouldn't. Oh, we got. I think that might be the only place that that's really listed in this. Oh, there are more links. Okay. So, an audio production is one of the ones I want to put in there. So, I'm going to leave that page open. What is this one that I was searching in? Oh, that's the article where I found that, isn't it? I think. That's a whole nother thing. Let's see. No, that's something else. So, what is that? Oh, I guess this was about something else. Oh, a Linux distro that I've never heard of. That's a Linux distro that okay. Google groups. Oh, those are groups, not. I thought those were Google searches. That's the Walden guy. Yeah, did I put that in my bookmarks? I think I did. That's my Gmail again. Yeah, I think I did. Okay, I want to make sure I can get back to that easy. But I want to make sure I have the right thing, so... I think that's pretty much, yeah. So, I forgot how I did my search now. Group install, yeah. See if I can find it that way. Of course, I might find it quicker like this. I don't want Fedora 25 though. I'm on Fedora 28 now, so there wouldn't be much sense in that. Alright. Do not run DNF. Yeah, DNF, they told you don't run it for a while there, but like a couple of years ago. I was having trouble. Yeah, some of my. That's about audio codecs. That might be good. Just right on the sidetrack. That might be good. Oh, okay, yeah. I think I'll make me a folder. Now I think I'll do it this way. Software, Linux. Now, I have much more organized stuff in my. Oops. Yeah, I do use the same links over a lot. Okay, so maybe sometimes it's helpful for me to go in and look at what I've already found before, and sometimes it just slows me down. That's all about this machine, I think. Yeah. And it came up in that search because those links are down there. Okay, so let's just try. I gotta get to Google now. What I probably should have done to start with, eh? This is, okay, yeah, DNF is a major version of Yum. This may be old. I like to organize it better than but I just have that Fedora project folder there, so. Well, there's a whole bunch of DNF commands, so let's see. It's really in detail. Yeah, if you want to learn how all this works, this would be a good one. I just want just the basic. What's the basic group install command? Okay, so it's probably there, and I'm just not patient enough to look. I do know one thing. I think it's going to be group install. It's not on that page. It's a space in there. Options group install with optional group name. Yeah, see, that old way may be the way that may not work anymore. That was the yum way to do it. So you may be group space install now. Well, there used to be group. There was another way to do it. Group install and at, you know, the ampersand. Use the ampersand like we use an email, you know, and it would say, tell it that it's a group, and then it would install it. I mean, it has to be a real group. That's why you have to go find out what groups are available first. Okay, so I'm not seeing. I'm not being patient. Okay, might be some there. Whoa, that's nice and big. If we can read it, and we'll make it nice and big. Let's see. DNF install HTTPD. Basic web server group is actually made up of 3 groups. Okay. DNF group install web server. Oh, and then put the Y for yes to everything after it. I think that's it right there. I think that may be it right there. Yeah, I put the Y, the dash Y. That way it won't stop and hang up. See, there's some examples. You can actually say DNF Y group install or group install Y. You don't have to put the Y after it. That makes it harder to do, you know, in my scenario. I think, yeah, because in my script, actually, you can put that in front of your, put that Y at the beginning of your script, and I believe it will go ahead and take care of everything in your script. Yeah, I think so. Put that at the very beginning, DNF. Well, when you're at the beginning of your script, it says to run, you know, do all this, what's below, put Y in there. So if I keep looking for group, let's see, group packages, group update. There's some good ones here. So this would be some real good stuff to. There's the group list command we were just doing. Group info, we did that. And yeah, see what my hunch, you know, if you have more than one word, put it in quotations. I might have said parentheses a minute ago. I'm always getting my words wrong. Quotation marks, and then it won't give you that error, like, and it'll read it as that, you know, that group. I guess that's back where I started, or it's in there again. Web server. Oh, that's a different example. You can be amazed what you can find out by searching through documents like this. But then when you find one that really looks like it has a lot of good info, then you can read the whole thing if you want to or need to. Oops, didn't mean to do that. That just never works good anymore. I don't care what page you're on. It just, you pull it down a little bit and it runs away from you, and then you don't know where the heck you were. This is a real good DNF group list. Real good explanation of how this works without. The other one was like going to school, you know. You want to learn everything from scratch, and why, when, where, and how it works, which is great if you can stand it, if you can remember it all. Since I forget that stuff about as quick as I read it, I just get the basics and get enough to get done what I need to get done. So this is a very long article. Wow, good one. It kind of seems like one I want to save. I think I will. Well, I'll have it. I'm going to call it Fedora's Linux because I guess other, Linux distros may use DNF, but if I put Fedora in front of it, I'll be easier to find it in my backup drive once it gets on my backup drive. A lot of times I'll put stuff like this in a folder, well, and then I get a lot of stuff in the folder. Say I may put it in my DNF folder for my DNF install scripts, and then it may be hard to find. Okay, so DNF group list. I was going to go back to that first one that gave you a rep command. I think this is the one that would work, except for, where's the Y? Oh, that's group info. Okay, gotcha. I guess because I don't have install. There's the first one, I guess. Now that's group install, one word. I thought I saw it as 2 words in there as well. Yeah. Well, let's just search for it. No, I think it has to be 1 word. I will know for sure if I get one of my scripts that I've used and I know it works. But it looks like what we would do is this right here. Let's see. Yeah, here's the one that I was saying. So I'll just close it, and I will get rid of the comment, then I get rid of the extra spaces. You just want 1 space between there. Make sure you got 1 space. And then the way they did it, you could do that to be safe. In this case, I will. But I think you could put that Y, DNF, Y group install. I don't think you put group install Y. I think you'd put DNF space Y group install, and it would work. Because that is from what I remember, how my script worked. So, but I'm going to leave that one like that example. So that would, right now, if that was turned into a script, that would do that. That would work. That would be one of the things in the script that would run. The only thing. So if I were, let's see. I'm trying to find this article that I remember. I kind of did a couple of them where I got to thinking, you know what, I used to actually put my scripts up on my blog, and I had it on my server and would allow them to be downloaded, but now the links are bad, and I don't think anybody really ever downloaded them anyway. But what was I trying to? I forgot what I was trying to search for now. And this is a pretty old article now, so I just kept running into it. Fedora app install strip. That says Kickstarter in there. Let's try that one. Utils app. Well, that's a whole different thing. I'm not quite sure what that is. I don't remember. 2013. Live CD. App install scripts. Spins. Thought maybe that would say something about a group install in there. Of course, that would be old Fedora 16. Clicked on it funny and in the wrong spot, and it made it get smaller. Okay. Now see, here's one. Sudo yum group install audio production. That's basically the same thing. Doesn't have the Y in there. Okay. Actually went blank as to what it was I was actually looking for. Oh, script. A stall script, yeah. So maybe I've got too many words in there. Script to install, easy to boot. So try just install script then. Maybe that'll find it. I just figured that was too general to work. Keeps on coming up when I do that. Install script. Downloading a random install script from SourceForge with no luck. That's about Fedora utils. Okay. It's the only time an install script is mentioned on here, so looks like I tried that out and I didn't get it to work. If I didn't, I always put on whatever happens, you know, whenever I do stuff. Okay. Well, okay, there's one thing I remember. That was one of the things that was in that. But it doesn't, Doesn't look like it's finding. That's some of the text that's in that live CD. How to create a live CD. Revisor. Yeah, I used to use Revisor. It quit working. The last one I got it to work on was a Fedora 11. It was a graphic user interface. I don't know why there's commands there. Anyway. Oh, same one. I keep clicking on the same stuff. Okay, so that didn't find it. I mean, I keep thinking that I'll be more likely to find it on my blog. I know what I'm looking for. I'm just not finding it. Install DNF apps list. Already been to the how to clone Windows. I think that might be a newer one. I don't know. I remember seeing something about that kind of thing recently. Yeah, that's not what I want. Okay. Do this. Go to Google now and try. I don't know. Sometimes you can use the actual Google and find your own stuff better, but see, that's nothing on my stuff there. Okay. I don't think that'll work. When I'm not looking for that particular article, it pops up every time I search, and then I can't remember. Can't remember where it was. That's Firefox. Oh, I started my preview again so I could make sure everything was okay. And I didn't listen to it yet. There we go. Okay. Thought I'd been going a good while. Okay. It shouldn't be so hard to find. I'll try this built-in search. Let's see. It remembered what I searched in the other one. Oh, that doesn't work at all. Didn't find anything. Okay. See, and I can always find my stuff when I'm trying to find my own stuff like that. That's why I need my bookmarks. So these are my bookmarks, a lot of them, but not all of them. You know, they're all over there on that drive that's being scanned for viruses right now. Everything new anyway. Okay, so yeah, now I'm getting kind of perturbed that I can't find something. This searcher does not behave, even though it's a custom Google search, it doesn't behave like regular Google search. I suppose if I could, there's a certain way you can put like, only search this, which that's what this does, but only search, you know, this website in the regular Google search, and it seems to work better than this does. I like this, but as you see, the original one didn't even work at all anymore. Or either that or just didn't find nothing. But apps list. I've searched everything. Oh, that wasn't favorite. I spelled it wrong. I don't think it mattered. I think it was originally, it was during the days of Yum, so I think it said Yum apps list. List or script. Well, I'm I've already done this, haven't I? I am not finding a darn thing close to what I'm looking for. I almost know. It's like, well, I've tried that already. I almost know the title of it. I know it's one of the, it was original Don's favorite apps list, something like that, and then there was update to previous article, Don's favorite apps. But I already tried that. Try it again. Don's favorite apps, or maybe it's just don't do list on the end. Let's see. It was said update to, one of them said update to previous post. That's a whole nother thing. Well, you know, could be in the links why it's coming up though. I think putting Dawn in there makes too many things come up because of my name on my blog. Doesn't help. Well, that's about the bane, but yeah. I just saw that a couple of times in the last couple of days too, the one I'm looking for. I'm to the point that I'm just not even paying attention. Getting too tired. Okay, so I was right there. I wanted to get that. Well, I figured if I could find that article, I would find one of my scripts that's over there on that drive. And I guess I know I have some of the older ones. It doesn't matter. All you need is that first part of the script on my Red Black Battlestar that's not running. I could have booted it up and got, you know, networked into it and got one of those. But I thought, well, that'll take too long. Okay, so I'm tired, and I said a long time ago I needed a break. Well, now I really need a break. And I'm just too tired really to continue. But anyway, at least I got that far, and this is what I'm going to do, is build me a script out of this. There's really no need, now that I've got my everything commented out. Oh, there is an extra line. I didn't know there was extra spaces in there. I don't know if those shouldn't hurt though. If they do, I'll have to find a way to get rid of them. I might have to find a way to go in there and remove every one of those spaces before the I can probably just like use that find and replace and replace. I didn't realize there were spaces in there like that. But if they cause it not to work, I'll have to. But anyway, that's the basic group install, and about to die here. So I'm gonna have to quit. And So I imagine I'll be tomorrow when I come back and do any more. And so I'm going to go. And I'll come back. Probably, I imagine it'll be tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye.